Hello, everybody. This is Peter B, and welcome to another episode of Tobacco Card Tuesday. I went into my box of tobacco cards, randomly pulled out three, went on the internet, learned a little bit about the players, and I'm passing on my knowledge to you. So, the first one is Mr. Roderick Bobby Wallace. And you're looking at a 1911 T205 with the St. Louis Browns. Bobby Wallace was signed by the Cleveland Spiders in 1894 as a pitcher. After a couple of years pitching with a mediocre record, he was moved to outfield, then third base, then finally settled in at shortstop. He was light-hitting, but an excellent fielding shortstop, possibly the best during his playing days. His nickname became Mr. Shortstop. Cleveland traded him to the St. Louis Cardinals in 1899, and he played with them through 1901. In 1902, he jumped across town to the St. Louis Browns of the brand new American League. Bobby became a better hitter with the Browns, but it was his excellent fielding that kept him in the bigs. He played until 1918 before retiring. Bobby Wallace was elected into the Hall of Fame in 1953. His 25-year totals are .268 batting average, 2,309 hits, 34 home runs, and a .690 OPS. So this is Bobby Wallace. Nice looking T205 with the St. Louis Browns. And the back is a Piedmont back. So Bobby Wallace, T205. Okay, the next one is Lefty Leafield. And you're looking at a 1909-11 T206, picturing him with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Lacking an overpowering fastball, Lefty Leafield relied on his breaking balls and pinpoint accuracy. Leafield played with the Pirates from 1905 to 1912. He won 109 games during that period, more than any Pirate also in that period. Lefty recalled one particular episode late in his career. He said, "I had Shano Collins 3-0 once, and then threw 3 straight strikes by him." So he had him 3 balls, no strikes, and ended up striking him out on the next 3 pitches. Right after that, Buck Weaver, his teammate, took Shano and asked, "Why in the world are you looking for a walk? This guy Leafield hasn't walked anyone since Garfield was shot." From 1907 to 1908, he only allowed 2 home runs in 504 innings. Remarkable ratio even for the dead ball area. Leafield started to develop arm troubles and was traded to the Chicago Cubs during the 1912 season. He pitched well in 1912 for the Cubs, but in 1913, arm troubles really began to affect him, and the Cubs ended up releasing him. Leafield went home to St. Louis and worked in a saloon and a grocery store. His arm started to regain strength, so he returned and pitched in the minors for 4 years, finally making it back to the bigs in 1918 with his home team, the St. Louis Browns. He pitched for the Browns until the 1920 season. His 12-year career, 124 wins, 97 losses, 2.47 ERA, 32 shutouts, and 616 strikes. So lefty leaf field. Pitcher, but on this T206 you see him batting, because pitchers had to do that in those days. Nice coloring on it. And it is a Piedmont back. Lefty leaf field, T206. Okay, and the final one is Buck Herzog. This is an E96 1910 Philadelphia Caramel card, picturing Buck with the New York Giants. Buck Herzog was one of the most versatile infielders in baseball history. His 1,493 games were divvied out almost equally between second, short, and third. Herzog was a very fiery player, and manager John McGraw, also a very fiery player in his days, brought Herzog up to the bigs in 1908. It became a love-hate relationship, extended perhaps only by George Steinbrenner and Billy Martin's love-hate relationship. Herzog played just like McGraw did, with a ferocious fighting spirit, but the two couldn't stand each other. Over the course of a decade, McGraw traded away Herzog 3 times, but brought him back twice. Both times he brought him back, the Giants experience immediate success with him on the team. McGraw once said, "I hate his guts, but I want him on my club." Herzog was the mainstay of McGraw's pennant-winning teams from 1911 to 1913. Herzog played for the Giants, the Boston Rustlers, who became the Braves, Cincinnati Reds, and Chicago Cubs during his 13 years. In 1917 spring training game between the Giants and Tigers, Ty Cobb arrived late to the game because he had a golf outing, and the Giants razzed him so viciously that he threatened to undress them during the game. On a steal attempt, Cobb slid in so high that he spiked Herzog above the knee. In the ensuing brawl, Cobb was grinding Herzog's face into the dirt until Jim Thorpe pulled them apart. After the game, Herzog challenged Cobb to a fight. They met in Cobb's hotel room and stacked the furniture out of the way, and after a half hour of mayhem, a bloody Herzog emerged, eyes nearly closed. He told his teammates, "I got the hell kicked out of me, but I knocked down the bum, and you know, that swellhead, he'll never forget the fact that a little guy like me had him on the floor." Herzog continued to play in the minors after his major league career, then became a minor league manager and even a baseball coach for the U.S. Naval Academy. No longer in baseball, he worked for the B&O Railroad for many years and later at a Maryland racetrack. The man who could negotiate a nice baseball salary during his playing days wound up destitute at the end of his life. He was found homeless on the streets of Baltimore in 1953, ravaged by tuberculosis. Old baseball friends tried to help him, but he died shortly after. His 13-year playing career, a .259 batting average, 1,370 hits, 20 home runs, 320 stolen base, and a .664 OPS. And you're looking at a Caramel card issued same time as tobacco cards. This is a Philadelphia Caramel card. I really like this one because of the horizontal format and the nice blue sky and the green grass, showing Herzog scooping up a ground ball. Back is a little desired for, but that's what they look like. It would have a checklist, and a person who collected this card looked like he had most of the players on the checklist. So in E96, Philadelphia Caramel, Buck Herzog. Well, I hope you learned a little bit of something, and thank you very much. And please join me again for next week's Tobacco Card Thursday.